was afraid that he would not let me alone. He could attack me again, he could assault me again. He was dangerous.
Cass left. Mary kept on working. Later, her manager called her into his office to take a phone call.
We weren't allowed to have personal telephone calls, so he wasn't happy about me getting a call.
The man on the other end of the line introduced himself as Dr. Santiago Genovez.
He was an anthropologist, and he had done this, but now he wanted to do this study.
Mary had no idea what the hell this man was talking about.
We were going to be a laboratory, but we were going to be on the water. We were going on a raft.
Something about crossing the Atlantic Ocean on a raft?
And he wanted me because I had navigation experience. I was like, no, there's no way. I'm not going to, I can't. I've got 3 kids. I'm in the middle of a divorce.
But the next day, Santiago showed up at the restaurant with a briefcase.
He looked very young, although he was like 48 or 49 at the time. Had a wonderfully handsome face and look about him.
I keep trying to describe him to people. I'm like, he's like Antonio Banderas mixed with older Michael Douglas.
Yeah, I would say a Michael Douglas type, yeah.
He demanded that they sit down.
He was an overwhelming presence in a way. He was like, not like the manager at Howard Johnson's. This was a real man.
Santiago really was an anthropologist from a university in Mexico, and he was attempting a radical group experiment.
This was in the 70s, early 70s. It wasn't that strange.
These are not prisoners, and this is not a prison. They are college students.
A lot of people were doing like psychological experiments and tests.
The subject denies the evidence of his own eyes and yields to group influence.
They come up to the tree and go around the tree and then go off again, off into the distance. Something is definitely not right with this situation. He's very, very scared. He goes back into the house. The sun goes down. He just wants things to be normal. Driving down the highway, you could hear the fear in every single word that came out of his mouth when he was saying, I know I'm not crazy. I know what I saw is real, and I just need you folks to be there. I need you to tell me that this actually is happening. And he was telling us, as the night goes on and everything goes quiet, those drums come back. It's extremely loud. It's outside. It's everywhere. And they look to the back of the house, and one by one, with each window, faces started to show up. The windows are pretty much high off of the ground, and there's these faces of these men looking into the house. With complete fear, they back away from that part of the house. So he goes, I got away from the windows. I didn't go near that part of the house. They just kind of like waited it out to see what would happen. And eventually the drums start to fade out and everything gets quiet again.
I was like, he didn't come out there and open the door or playing like tug of war with me. And she was like, no. She was like, he's been out there the whole time.
And then sometimes, during the night,
I had woke up several times to a shadow figure again in his silhouette standing at the end of the bed. And then, of course, it would vanish. And then I would feel like the sheets tighten up around me. It feels like somebody's grabbing all 4 corners of the sheets and just put all their weight down on it. One time I couldn't even sit up. I was like, okay. So I started saying the Lord's Prayer, and then I could feel like the sheets lighten up and I could sit up. TVs would turn on, radios would turn on, because they had the old style, like a stereo. One Sunday, like I said, Sunday mornings, my mom would turn the radio up to like some gospel station and have the volume on like around 7. The station changed to like a more like it went from FM to AM the first time.